Hello YouTube. It's been a year since I've had this tractor, so I'm going to do a 1-year review. Pretty much happy overall. Just point out some little things to you. Right now you can see that it's right at, in a year I put 114 hours on it doing projects around here. So it's right at that milestone there. It's estimated that most homeowners put about 100 hours per year. So I'm right at that point there, thinking about when you're counting going through the winter months and not doing anything during the winter months, because we don't put snow or anything around here. So right at 114, and the 9th made a year on delivery. You can see my delivery video up in the corner there. So we'll go with some of the things that I modified on this tractor. One of the first things that we did, put a mount for the GoPro camera. You see some of the videos from the inside the cab. Had it on there, plus a hat cam. I did put a rear view camera on it, and it's working out pretty well. Sometimes the sun, I'll wash it out if I'm backing up, trying to cut some stuff while backing up. The sun will wash it out, but the install came out really good. I just put this in right here and hit that, and it automatically comes on. So works out really well. And I got it wired through the whopper fuse, so it'll have power when the fuse come on. But that's what it does. It kind of washes it out when the sun out. In the shade, it does really, really well. And so that's what it is. Then the other thing I did, you saw the video on it, I cut the shaft here. It's helped out a whole lot when working the loader, dealing with dirt and stuff like that. Because I ruined my shoulder the first year living here, weed eating all around the fence line. So I brought this down a little bit more, take some tension off the shoulder, so it worked out really good. And you should see a video that I have in the links there talking about this project here. That's pretty much everything on the inside. As I step out the tractor, some of the other things that I've done over the year, of course I put the grapple on it. You see the videos on my YouTube channel about it. The thumb grapple worked out perfect for me. The only downside about this, you can't see as well with the bucket on it, but the great advantage is if you're out back, you need to move a tree, but they also need to move some material, the bucket really comes in handy. And so this setup has worked out good. It did have a couple disadvantages, but the advantages outweighed the disadvantages. So therefore, it turned out perfect for me, for what I need. But if you're going to clear some small brush and need to pick up some small pieces and stuff like that, you may want to get another kind of grapple. But this works good on the logs that I've had to move, the dead trees. We don't burn firewood, so I have no use for something to constantly use firewood. My little contraption's working out pretty good. I'm going to have to do some more adjustment on that. That doesn't turn on me, but I may try to get it welded where the spring doesn't move on me on there. But it worked out great, better than expected. So put the grapple on the hoses. Another thing I've done is put this on it within the 1 year that I've had it, and it really came in handy. I had a tree to fall, we had to cut it up, and one of the branches and stuff got stuck through, and you can see the battle scars where the branch scratched it, but that saved it from keeping from going through the radiator. And so I put all the third function valve and stuff on myself, and really worked out well. This is the Kubota B2650 with the cab. The size has really paid off. I have some close corners over there. I was cleaning out, my dog got bit by a snake, and so I went over there and cleaned that off to prevent that from happening again. And I didn't realize how advantageous it was to have such a small tractor with this much power. And so it really worked out to my advantage having this size. If we buy this land next to us, and you see how big some of those trees are, I probably would have to get a bigger tractor, depending on what we do over there, if we decide to go forward with it next time if it ever comes up for sale. But for what I do here, it is perfect. It hauls material The only thing I probably would do if you're gonna have a lot of land clearing and if you're gonna haul a lot of dirt and a lot of gravel, this is the 54-inch bucket. I probably would get the 6-inch bucket. I have ran the 1 or 2 occasions where I wished I could carry more material for as dirt and number 1 gravel or number 2 gravel, stuff like that. But overall, I'm happy with the 54-inch. It's just a standard bucket. Hadn't had any mechanical issues except for one thing. The AC condenser was leaking, and so the dealer fixed that. Unfortunately, it was during the holiday season, so they had trouble getting the part, and so we had some disconnects along that because of the holiday. But other than that, they finally got it, and we got it fixed, got it in there. But here's my rear view camera. I'm probably gonna relocate it, take it from here, figure out a way to mount it here. May have to make my bracket to fit under the screw, because it gives me a little bit more vision advantage if I had it in the center. Then also it would help me to hook up the attachments a whole lot better, which I don't never take this off. I used to have a blade and I had a rear scraper, but I sold both of those because I wasn't using them, and so I leave this on all the time. But down the road I may have to buy something else, and so I wanted to get it quick hitch compatible, where it makes it easier if the camera is in the middle, just back up or you right over it, hook up and go. So that's the only thing I may change on the back that I've added, is the location of the camera. But other than that, I'm really happy. I may drill some holes here and tie it to a tree and pull those out. It doesn't touch the blade, but I backed up, hit a tree while cutting, brush hogging. You can see the damage there, but it doesn't hurt anything because the blades doesn't touch. But just for aesthetic reason, I may drill holes in it, pull it back out, and I'll fix that or raise it up and take a rubber mallet and hit it from the inside. And but it did really good on the trails. The 4-foot cutter is perfect for what I need, and I keep it on also as a weight, as a counterbalance or a ballast, if you will. So it's on there all the time. I don't ever take it off for any reason. But other than that, I've been very pleased. I think the B2650, the only advantage without the cab is you can get closer in to low-hanging branches. But what I usually do is go trim the trees, because what I was having, the trees was knocking my mirror out of adjustment and hitting up here, and I didn't want it to break none of my glass. So I trimmed the trees down the fence line. I had a guy to come down with a land shark, and he trimmed most of that, much as he could do. And I'm gonna go back and spray some RM43 to kill it so it won't come back, because one while we could not see the fence line. But that's the only thing. If you're cutting close down here in the back 40, the limbs hanging over from the neighbor's property hits the mirror and hits the glass. And so I had a guy to cut it best he could with a land shark. And but if you're in the market for a tractor, don't overlook the B2650. It's a great tractor. You can put a grapple on it, and you got some small spaces. That's where it really shines. They have the power that it has, and you work in small spaces, so it's really good for that. But other than that, I think that's all I've done to it. Hadn't had any mechanical problems or anything like that. I'll probably go ahead and change the oil again. It's not recommended, but I've used it pretty hard lately, flattening out some area. Oh, another modification I made, the tailpipe comes from factory straight, and it shoots soot from the back there, so I just put a down pipe on it. You don't have to, but that's what I wanted to do, so I put a down pipe on it, and get that soot to blow down on the ground instead of blowing on the back of the loader arm. And so I never take the bucket off because the grapple is on here. I used to have pallet forks, but didn't have a really use for them once I got the grapple. And then got the hooks here, and the hooks, I can put chain on it, pick up anything I want, raise this up, and so I really didn't need the pallet forks, so I sold those. But if you're looking for a tractor, B2650 HSD is this model with the cab. And if you don't want the cab, you can save probably maybe $5,000 without the cab. And but it really works good on a hot day. and I'm out there mowing. I've been thinking about putting some shield paper up here. I got some up on the house by the generator. The generator was put in too close to the wooden fence, and I put some reflective paper up that I bought off Amazon. It reflects the heat, so I may put some on the roof here. If it gets any holler here, it's already 3 digits just about every day. But most time I got shade. From 3 o'clock on, I got shade. So when I mow out there, it's partially shaded. So decide to get a tractor. Don't overlook the Kubota B2650 with or without cab. I went with the 4-foot cutter. If you do not have air conditioning, you can get a 5-foot cutter. Works pretty well. But the horsepower at the PTO, it was recommended I get a 4-foot cutter, and I'm very happy with it because it goes anywhere I need to go, and then I can use it as a ballast. Well, I want to thank you for watching. I hope if you're in the market for a tractor, you check out the Kubota B2650. I think it works great. They have came out with the new LX model. I think it's a step up, and so that wouldn't have been bad neither. I think it's for size wise, I still could have get in the spaces I need to get into. And so that's all, folks. Y'all have a good one. Bye bye.